about Jesus, and 26 he talks about fearing God again, and speaks about Jesus in line 33. You are my son, quotation from the second Psalm. Today I have begotten you, which is the what's called out at the baptism according to the apocryphal Gospels and Hebrews. In the normal Gospels, it's you are my son, in you I am well pleased. But I think this may be more like what was originally considered to be said. But that would make it some adoptionist type of sonship, or not an actual physical sonship. Anyway, so he goes on in this vein. Now the Jews, 42 as usual, are the meanies. And after things had broken up, many of the Jews and devoted followers followed Paul. But on the next Sabbath, seeing all the multitudes who were now coming, the Jews were filled with envy and denied the things. So here we get the same picture of the Jews as nasty people, even though they gave Paul the audience. But the Jews, line 50, stirred up the devoted honorable women and chief men and raised a persecution, and they expelled them out of the city, and they shook the dust off their feet. The next thing they do, chapter 14, enter the next synagogue. Well, if you're having trouble in synagogue after synagogue, why would you do this? Do you deliberately want to go around and upset people? Would I, for instance, go down to Orange County with the things that I say and go into every church and start preaching this and upset all those poor people without expecting ramification? Of course they'd be upset and angry. That would be bad manners on my part to do that. But, of course, if you're a believer, you think it's great because it's propagating your faith. But think of it in other terms. Is this nice manners to do? To walk into these places and upset people who have their own views and so on and so forth? So you see, there's one way of looking at it, and there's another way. But the main thing is the act is repeated over and over and over again. So the missionary journeys are basically the same. Go into a synagogue where the Jews are, upset the Jews, and try to siphon off some of the others who are there, who are interested in Judaism for some reason or other, into this new form that Paul is preaching in his new message. And that's the picture here next, and that's what we make all mixed up. You have to evaluate how you think you would feel that happened if it happened in your church. You have to decide. See you next time. Oh, have a good Thanksgiving. So next time, by the way, we'll do all that. We'll finish up the journeys. Now we're going to get into real interesting stuff. I want to get through the missionary journeys quickly because they basically are a repeat over and over. Basically the same thing happens. We want to do the Jerusalem Council, Acts 15 next time, and then we want to do Paul's final confrontations in Jerusalem in the week or so following that, because that's the climax of Acts.
Are you signing the paper, the research paper?
What about it?
Are you signing it anything? Or is there a due date?
Hold on, let me get this here. Let me talk.